We're channeling all the good vibes, the positive vibes, all the goodness, the crystal vibes. Yes, and so it is. Okay, welcome to the Wearebe podcast, channeling all the good vibes, the crystal vibes, all the love today.
Yes,
I'm
girl.
super pumped because today I am quite literally honored to be introducing to you one of my soul sisters, but a complete boss babe. Not only is she a single mom and a professional makeup artist, but this woman is an accessory and hair designer and the CEO and owner of her own company, The Quai.
You're so
welcome.
good. Hi, love. How are you?
Oh, I'm so good. How are you doing today?
You know, today's a good day.
Yeah.
Today's a good day.
You know, the roller coaster of these
oh my
journeys.
Gosh, the roller coaster of life, right?
Yeah. What's going on with you, girl?
Well, you know, it's just, as you said, a single mom, hat accessory company owner, and just relaunching product that's been sold out. And, you know, it's crazy when you're a one-man show. You know, so
she's the CEO, the designer, the marketer, the social media manager,
the mailer, the shipper, the messages, you name it.
The emailer.
Yeah,
she's it all.
I'm the emailer. That is right.
Emailer. So yeah. Okay, I'm so excited to dive into your journey, and I really want to talk about your brand and your hat line and your company. But let's start from the beginning because I want to start like, how did you get into beauty and like the journey of, you know, from the beginning? Like, what interested you to start on it and go from there?
So this will all make sense when we get to the end.
Okay.
Luck. I have luck on my side, and everything has kind of just happened.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college. I hated it. So I decided to go to cosmetology school. Hey, girls, if you are going to cosmetology school, it is the hardest thing you will ever do. So don't just do it to feel, because it is hard.
Yeah, I think so many people are like, I don't want to go to regular school, so I'm just going to go to beauty school. Like, you still have to take tests. You got to pass tests.
And not just that, you are on your feet 8 hours a day, bending over, shampooing, blow drying. I mean, like, I was like, what did I get myself into? I'll go back to college.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I finished within a year. And then actually, so I was doing that, and I was at Nordstrom's doing a show for Stila, doing hair extensions. And the MAC manager came over and asked me if I was interested in doing makeup. At that point in my life, I didn't do anything. Like, I wore mascara. Like, I think my favorite lipstick was a Wet n Wild purple frosty lipstick. Yes, I probably wore like the white liner. I mean, that was my makeup routine. No foundation. Maybe if I got crazy, some blush or something like that. But super simple. And I looked at her and I said, I have no idea how to do makeup. And she goes, it doesn't matter. Wow. Do you want to interview or not? No, and I was kind of dumbfounded, like, well, shoot, you know? And I said, sure. So she walked me over, set up an appointment. Okay, we'll see you then. I'm like, okay. I remember going home. And at that point in my life, my little sister actually was the one into makeup. I mean, her and my mom would spend hundreds of dollars at the MAC counter. And I would look at them going, you're spending $12 on an eyeshadow? Are you serious? So when I went home and told her, she was like, oh my gosh, I could get free makeup. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm sitting there going, I don't even know how to do makeup. So I asked my older sister, hey, let me practice on you. Will you be my model? We went in and I did the interview and I got the job. And I was like, okay, well, I can only do like part-time, 2 days a week, because I still want to do hair. Long story short, moved to MAC and became a makeup artist. I went there. I never worked there full time, but quit hair and worked there 4 days a week. Still to this day, that team, Jem Parcia was my manager, and still to this day, one of the best managers I've ever had. She knew how to hire a team, how to make a team strong. And I'm still like best friends. Well, not best friends, but still love and talk to all the girls I worked with there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's how I got into makeup, and then that just led to one thing after another and this and that. But I kind of got bored with makeup and wanted to go to nursing school, not to do the hospital stuff, to inject, to become an injector, do Botox fillers. My sister-in-law and one of my best friends, it does that. And I just have an eye for it and really wanted to do it. Well, met a man, got engaged, and didn't finish. So all that happened. I moved out east, and I got married in between all this. Moved out east, kind of quit all the things I did because I wanted to go support him. Moved out east, did that whole thing, got divorced, and moved back, and that's when I met you.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, there's so much in between. Real quick, something that truly inspired me when I first met you was obviously when you had just moved back from Virginia. And can you go a little bit more into details as far as, the process of you moving back and why you left that relationship? Because I know you guys are still great friends today, which is so amazing. But that's something I really admired about you.
Okay, so divorce is never easy. Getting married was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Because and I can admit it now when I look back, I was a total prima donna. I was a little brat. I didn't do my laundry. I didn't cook. Like, I had someone basically wiping my butt all the time. Truly. And and I'll never lose this part of me, but I am blunt. I've always been blunt and very proud that if I say something behind your back and you ask me, I will own it. And I would have said to your face first, but you weren't there, type of a person.
Yeah.
But getting married softened me. It made me grow up. I learned how to do the laundry. I learned how to do the dishes. I learned all that stuff. I mean, I was seriously like the PTA mom out east, doing fundraisers at her school every day, which was great, you know? But I lost myself in the process. I lost who I was. It was a total...
That was the opposite. That's like the opposite from being like this makeup beauty queen to like house mom, PTO, which you have a daughter we didn't mention.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Z. And I know there's a story behind that, which I think would be awesome to share because you've overcome so much to become who you are today.
Yeah. My little Z, she is, well, not so little anymore. She's 16.
That's crazy.
But... So her biological dad passed away when she was about a year old of a heroin overdose. He was my high school sweetheart, a great guy. And that's why I've always been such an anti-drug advocate. But then I met Reed, and even if that's my ex-husband, even if he was horrible to me, he is so wonderful to my Zariah. I mean, that is his daughter. That is her dad. They, and I would have never, I've always said, and that's why I'm single now, I will never just be with someone because I need someone. This person has to love my daughter more than me, and Reed does. And so, she is so blessed because she's been raised with my parents, my step-parents, my family. And that was one of my goals when I had her, was that I am a single mom. And if anything happened to me, I never wanted her to feel alone.
Wow.
And to be honest, I think that if I died, she'd be more sad if my parents died.
It takes a tribe.
My job here is done, But
I
mean, I think I've had a dramatic past, but who hasn't? And I think so many people live on that story and play that victim, where I just have never been a believer of that. I've never been... a believer that your story defined you. I think it should help you.
100%.
But I think nowadays, guess what? You're not special. I am not special that I went through that. You are not special for your problems. You're not. More than 80% of everyone in the world has a problem.
Exactly.
So...
It's what you do about it.
I know, and again, this is where people are like, you could have said that in a softer tone, but no, that's not me. I don't sugarcoat. I have a backbone, not a wishbone. So people love that or hate it.
Can we repeat that? She's got a backbone, not a wishbone. No, that's literally something about you that I've freaking admired, because I feel like even though we're the same, we're both Virgos.
Yep.
We're both in the beauty industry. We both have so many similar, can flow together and we understand each other. We're so different in the aspect where you're like, I'm gonna tell you how it is. You better listen up. And I'm like, I just want them to know that they're amazing and that they're loved. And you do that in your own way. But like, that's something that I'm like, dang, I need to channel my inner Quai more often and tell people that.
I have to channel my inner Shelly for my softer ways to approach, because it is, and this has been one of my biggest struggles, is keeping this part of me, but also focusing on that it's not about what you say, it's about how you make someone feel. But you also have to take that with a grain of salt, because everybody these days are freaking babies.
They are.
It's like, give a child for losing a medal. No, teach your kids that losing, you learn more.
Exactly.
You learn more from losing than winning, personally. So, no, teach your kids the difference. Every kid doesn't need a freaking medal. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
And know what? People are going to be like, who is this Quai chick? But, I just think, like, everybody is so sensitive, and it is scary, because you never know what you're going to say that's going to offend someone these days.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
But I really don't care.
That's so amazing.
Like, I do focus because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I'm not tiptoeing. And I would much rather have it, like, shoot it to me straight. Don't sugarcoat things. It's a waste of time. Don't waste my time. Like, if I pissed you off, tell me. I will be the first to apologize. If I did something and you talk to me about it, I will understand where you're coming from. I will own it. And I will also explain where I came from. And if you can't understand that, I think that it's not about right or wrong. It's about understanding.
Totally.
And again, text messaging, talking, people can take things 100 different ways, and you can't fix it without communication.
I love that. Yeah, you just
I think
take the bulls by the horn.
All over the place.
Yeah, no, but that's what I love, is we just flow. And like you said, like, you're unapologetically yourself. Like, you are like a North Star for like feminism and for like owning your power as a woman, because there's so many women that are hiding under a rock and in the shadows, even though it doesn't feel right, because I think innately we all know that we were here for something bigger and that our voice matters, whether you're passionate about, protecting animals, or you're passionate about, children and their rights that they have, and whatever it is that you're passionate about. But like, there's so many people hiding and shrinking up and trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so where did you find that? Because you're like a North Star for that. Like, you are, I know you wouldn't say that about yourself, but that's how I've always viewed you. Like, I respect your woman empowerment, and you're just the best. So where did that come from? Like, how did that start?
This is another thing that I was born with it. I can truly say that. My mom has said, you have known who you are since you were a kid. I have never really let what people have said get to me. I was born and raised in Provo, Utah, which is a prominent Mormon community, and I was not Mormon. My parents got divorced at a very young age, and I remember my best friend came up to me and said she couldn't play with me anymore. And I think most kids would have cried and, oh my gosh, God, so-and-so can't play with me. And I remember looking at her going, well, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And she I remember this moment so distinctively. And she was like, what? And I'm like, well, all the friends are mine. So you can come play with us anytime you want, though. Whenever you can. I just don't want you to get in trouble. And I was like, okay, bye-bye. And just skipping off in my mom's high heels and a swimsuit, I just really, I don't know. And that's why I understand when people have these insecurities, because I really haven't ever had them. Oh, I have my insecurities. Do not get me wrong. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I just think I am hot shit and blah, 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 blah. But I've never really cared what other people have thought.
That's huge.
But again, I do that, and I think that's because I say dress. Like, I know my style is a lot different than others, but guess what? I'm not a size 0. I have a booty and I have boobs. I don't tell a lot of people this, but I am covered in stretch marks. I had toxemia when I had my daughter, so I gained 40 pounds in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Um, yeah, like, is that an insecurity? Absolutely. But guess what? I find swimsuits that, you know what? Yeah, most people don't get in the pool with the cover up, but I will make it look glamorous.
You
And
always
I
do.
will wear a one piece with lipstick because that makes me feel my bougie self. And so I think there are all these insecurities that people have, but you just have to find the way to make it you and not
Yes.
feel yeah, I look at my friends and do I look like you in a two piece? That's the other thing. If you are looking at your friends and getting envious, that's not good.
Yeah.
I look at my friends that are rocking two pieces and I'm like, damn, Gina, you worked that thing. Okay, what can I do? I'm going to like pretend to do abs right now. Like, you know what I mean?
It like inspires you. Like
Yes.
I love that because as women too, like we tend to, if you're not in your true self, you look at other people and you're like, you get jealous or you feel insecure, but it's like people in your circle, you should look at them and see the differences and admire them and feel inspired by them.
All the way.
I love that.
All the way. So,
Yeah, girl.
yeah, I just kind of, I mean, and yes, I'm not like it's hard saying I was born with it and I'm just confident. No, you've seen me at my lows. You've been doing my eyelashes when literally you've had to stop because I'm crying so hard. Like, but bottom line, yes, I think I do have more confidence and I'm not sure why. I
love that.
really can't tell you why. There are days when I have to look in the mirror and say, you've got this. You are beautiful. You've gained 10 pounds and you are fluffy, but you are still F word freaking amazing. You know? Like,
I
so
love that.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I have to pep talk myself and keep it going. But overall, I've always been confident. And I really think that you are born certain ways.
Totally.
And that was one of my qualities that I was born with.
I think too that also could be like your purpose and you're owning it because you know like people can just say oh it's natural but like innate gifts and qualities that come to you easier like it's for a reason. And I know recently like for you and I the past couple years is like discovering our purpose and like why we're here. Like what would you say is your purpose and your why?
You know, I think my purpose, I am a leader. I know how to lead. And I think and that's part of this process I've been figuring out that it is my forwardness and bluntness. I think some people, when they first hear it, it's hard for them, but they always come back and appreciate it.
Totally.
I've softened a lot how I used to be, but I'm still, and that's been in this process where I would do this. I'm like, this isn't me and it isn't working for me. And so I think that is kind of my purpose here is to lead and to help others find that confidence.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and my why is that I'll tell you my why. When I get messages, like this is where I get emotional. When you get messages from women saying that you've helped them and that thank you for you being vulnerable because I needed that. So me showing my weakness, because I don't a lot. I am a wall. I am a brick. Like I can handle a lot. And I think when you start your own business, it's freaking scary.
Totally.
And when you have your life savings that you've saved to buy a nice home is going away because it's going into what you believe and you see is scary.
Totally.
And so, you know, it's hard. Like me even saying, like, I'll go back to saying I have stretch marks. That is hard for me to like put out to the world, even though most women have them. And so I think that's my why. My purpose is to lead, but my why is to be led.
Wow.
You know, like, so
100%.
it's kind of a full circle where I lead, but I wouldn't keep on going if I didn't have those others leading me back to that leadership.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Hell yeah, because
You
it's like
know?
a validation almost, not a validation that you're seeking, but it's like signs and validation, like you're on the right path, you're living in your purpose. you are doing so much more than you even know. Like, that's what you see in the messages, but there's women that you've impacted, that you've touched just by putting yourself out there, that I know are going to be listening to this and be like, yes. So reach out to the Quai, give her some more validation. We all need it along the way. She's got this, killing the game.
And all I know is, like, I need my Botox. So, like, when I tear up and cry, I'm like, why isn't my face frozen? I can feel the wrinkles. Like, I'm all, I need my Botox.
Oh, don't talk about
Anyways.
that, my hippy dippy forehead.
Whatever,
But
you're fresh.
okay, so I'm really excited. We're gonna delve into your brand. The Quai, there's just so much juiciness in there because I was honored to just hear you out before you even brought this into fruition, woman, and I'm so freaking proud of you. Like, you inspire me, and everything that you put into this, your heart and your soul, like, you're here. You're creating it. It's here.
Is it? I'm like, you have been with me through my biggest, I can say you've been with me through my biggest changing years, and you've seen me kind of that hard, and like after my one breakup, going through my one job I just left. I mean, you have, and starting this and listening, I mean, you've seen all the different angles of Quai and like what I've worked through, which is pretty crazy.
I'm honored.
Like,
Quite
you're
honored.
one of the only, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've really talked to you about stuff. So, yeah, the Quai. To be honest, when I had my daughter, I can't wear two pieces. And I could, but for me, I support anyone with stretch marks wearing two pieces. I'm not one. Me personally, I don't do it.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable. So when I had her, I had all my swimsuits personally made, the high-waisted. Now you can get high-waisted everywhere. When I did it, no one had them. I would wear them and people would go crazy. But I was young. I had no idea like how to even begin that or what to do. It's not like nowadays, like, shoot, my daughter's baby pictures are all on film. I don't even think text messaging had started. So, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a great idea. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I let that slide. And the only other time I've had that feeling is with my hats. And I had all my hats custom made, and they're not cheap. And I would go out and I would get compliments. We love your hat. Where'd you get it? Wah, wah, wee, wah. And
that's where I got that saying from, in case you're wondering, Josh.
And it was just, you know, and it hit me that I'm like, I can do this. I want to make people feel like $1 million without spending $1 million. And so how and what can I do to make people feel this way? And the other thing about hats is it's same like clothing. If you go into a store, you're buying the same thing that everyone else is. So when you go out, I mean, really though, is there anything worse than going to a party or going to dinner and you're sitting down and you're feeling like, oh yeah, and then someone walks in with your outfit on and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
You look good. We're wearing the same outfit. Darn it, you know?
I always tried to literally avoid being the same and wearing the same and doing the same thing as other people, not because I'm like too good, but I just like the weird stuff. I wear overalls. I have a mohawk. Like, it's like, it's just so funny. So I love that.
You get it.
But yeah, continue.
But also with this is I have started riding a motorcycle. And that, again, I'm telling you, I'd never ridden on the back of a motorcycle. I'd never ridden a dirt bike. I'd never been on a scooter, for hell's sake. I literally was driving home one day, saw on the freeway a sign for Harley, and was like, okay, I'll do it. Whatever, I'll take the course. So took the course, fell in love, bought my motorcycle 2 weeks later.
Hid it from your mom.
Yep, hid it from my mom, caused a huge family drama. Oh my gosh, that alone was like, ooh.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh my gosh, I know. It was.
Nobody told my mom I got a motorcycle.
I think I blocked her too.
Yeah.
So she couldn't see my post. Like, that's how intense it was.
But you're still alive.
Still alive. Bought my motorcycle off of, I had no idea anything about motorcycles, just bought it off of what I liked, how it looked. But riding, I'm obsessed. You know this. It is, I will be a rider for life. Everyone's like, aren't you scared? You can die. Guess what, honey? when we were born, it was already destined when we're going to die.
Totally.
I would much rather die on my motorcycle than in a car accident, of a stroke, seizure, whatever, all of these things that we can die. And guess what? It's a whole control thing.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to die on my bike, that's a damn good story if you ask me. She went down on her motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know,
living the best life. But that's so
Yeah.
paradoxical too, because it's like beauty and motorcycles. Like you don't see those combined, and you've just like you are
Exactly.
killing it. You're molding them together.
But that's what made me truly come up with my motto for the company, which is breaking the mold. Because I would get on this motorcycle, and I still remember when the first times I rode up to Park City and parked, you know, just people looking at me, and you know, people I'd seen before but never talked. And it's crazy because they full on would come up to me and be like, we see you out here all the time, but you know, we would never come talk to you. You're like one of those prissy girls, but now that you ride a motorcycle, let's chat. And, you know, at first I was like, screw you, dum-dum, like.
Excuse me?
But I also thought, I've judged you too.
Wow.
You've had tattoos, smoking, swearing, cursing, which I have one tattoo. And, you know, I don't smoke. I drink occasionally. But, you know, so it was kind of a wake-up call that we all put each other in boxes. Whether we know it or not, we do it. And I'm guilty of it. You're guilty. If anyone says they don't do that, that's hogwash. Everybody does
What
that.
else you not telling me besides that?
I was just like, I like you, girl. But you're like, you know what I mean? And and I was a girl that got off a motorcycle wearing bright red lipstick, lash extensions, heels, leather pants, and a crop top with jewelry. Like, I'd get off, I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? You know? And so I think everyone, like, it did. And I've even seen, they're not going to admit it, but I've seen the girls in the riding community since I've come along change a lot and become more feminine, owning like wearing lipstick and doing that. And I just think that's so cool. I've had girls, I can say probably over 10 to 15 girls, which may not seem like a lot, but when you think that have messaged me saying they've started riding because I inspired them, that's not just going to a dance class or started exercising. These are women that had to go pay for a course and actually get a motorcycle, insurance. That to me,
and actually ride it.
And ride. That is huge.
Totally.
And that's my whole circle. Like, that's like, okay, I'm doing something right. If I can help people have a passion like I do for this bike, dude, in my garage, I'm like, hi, I love you. How are you doing, girl?
Your bike's your boyfriend.
Yeah, she is. So I guess I'm a lesbian.
She's your girlfriend.
She's my girlfriend. And so but you said it. It has brought bikes and beauty together. And that's how I got breaking the mold. That we all can do it. We can all do what we want and break down those walls of insecurities of feeling we're not going to fit in.
Totally.
And I think that's why I am good at it, because I'm not scared. I don't care. Like, trust me, I'm the first person that someone's like, oh my gosh, who's this chick? And I overhear it. I don't walk away. I walk over and introduce myself. Hey, this chick, my name's Quai. Come talk to me. Don't talk behind my back. Like, I constantly do that.
I think I've literally seen you do that before, which is like the best.
Too. You know, and I'm like, what's your name? And I introduce myself. I'm like, listen, I know I'm not your style, but I'm pretty cool. Let's chat. And next thing you know, I have a new friend, and they've learned a lesson. Don't judge.
Love that.
So,
I love that.
That's kind of, motorcycles did bring me into the Quai also. And I'm freaking obsessed. Oh my gosh.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm repping the Quai. I mean, I don't know if you can't tell, but this says the Quai. We got the lipstick scarf. If you'd like to wear it over your face while you're riding the motos, then please do so.
In your hair, on your purse. I mean,
everywhere.
We've got so many ways.
I love
all the
it.
ways.
Which is freaking awesome. I want to touch on this point. So your first product you launched is the Quai scarf, and you sold out on the first day.
Yeah. 3 times.
Yeah. And you recently just did a launch, and let's just share with the world how exciting that is.
I know. It's crazy. Honestly.
1 hour. She sold over 100 scarves in 1 hour.
And I thought I was shooting for, I'm like, this is the 4th time. I just want the people that have tried to get it the last couple times. So I'm just shooting for 20. And that I don't know what we're at now because I haven't been able to check. But yeah, so it's like, it's crazy because, when you think, I'm like, that is so awesome. Then all I can think of is I'm like, okay, I'm coming up to do a podcast. Then I have to go home. I got to look at the orders, make sure everything's connected. Then I'm doing a Facebook Live. I am a one-man show. I'm a one-man show.
Dude, I get that. I mean, running two studios, being the receptionist, booking clients, and then the online aspect.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just like, but that's what's so cool, right? Is like being an entrepreneur and creating your own company has really shown you what you can do. Because before that, did you know that you could do this?
No.
Because let's go back to the beginning, because I know you were scared. Which is
I'm still
everybody's scared,
I'm
right?
still scared. It gets scared. It doesn't get easier. If this is not for the easy-hearted.
Totally.
Last week was my hardest week yet, and I can honestly say I was 2 seconds from throwing in the towel. I don't have a husband. I don't have a boyfriend. I am a single mom. I have someone that I'm responsible for. I am alone. I don't have a business partner. I am alone. I don't think most can say that.
Totally.
And it is not easy. I can say that is my one thing. If I can give advice to anyone, I have the greatest friends. I don't want to take, I have people, yes, I've called all of my friends bawling. I'm not this way. I think I'm done. What do I do? I just can't do this. I'm exhausted. But if I can give advice to anyone, have someone. If you don't have a boyfriend or a husband, try to find a business partner, which I'm kind of looking for right now because it is hard. But you don't just find a partner, because I've had some and it can make it harder.
Totally.
But it is not easy.
Yeah.
But that's where I come, where my life I've had luck. Every job has kind of fallen in to place how it should. I haven't had to work for it. Even after divorce and moving back, and my last job, a friend contacted me and said, I saw this job and it just seemed like you. It's a makeup artist for a makeup company in Utah. And I literally laughed. I was like, you are so cute. A makeup company in Utah.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am? But it was the first time. I just remember she's like, I'm sending you the link and look at it if you want. And I did. And I read about it and I'm like, okay, this actually seems like something I need for me right now.
Yeah. And
I did it and I loved it. And because of that job is why I'm doing this.
Yeah. I remember even too, I don't think, I'm sure that you say it's luck, but I think everything prepares you for what's next. And everything that you've gone through has shaped you to become the next greatest version of yourself. And you do step into that. But definitely, you do want to acknowledge, I love anything spiritual, woo-woo, everything. And I'm like, this sign and that sign and numbers and synchronicity. So I'm all about it. And, you could say it's luck, or I know you are into that stuff too. But that's something that I'm like, that is so cool that you step into the next thing. Because how many people, I remember when you were at this makeup artist job and you were killing it. You got a crowd. You got people that looked up to you in that company, that loved you. And you knew, it is my time to step into this. I'm scared shitless, and I don't know if this is going to work. And what if, I need to step into it sooner than I'm ready. And then all of a sudden, you just let go. I remember you came into the studio. You said, when it's my time, it will open. The door will open. And it did.
It did, literally. I remember calling going, I'm done. I've never felt better. And that anxiety I had was gone. I had a whole new set of anxiety, but
totally.
that one that was holding me back was gone.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah. Because I think so many people, they know that this isn't what they're supposed to be doing, anymore, but they don't know what the next step is or the next thing is, and it's scary. So, how did you let go? How did you just trust the universe, so to speak, to surrender? Because most people just get stuck in the anxiety and it cripples them.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's, I think I've always been a spiritual, religious person, but not the one that, I'll be honest, no. Going to church once a week does not make you religious and spiritual. No, it does not make you a better person than those that don't go to church at all. Spirituality, I feel, and religious people, you are a good person if you treat others with kindness, you are honest, you are loyal, and live a good life. If you go have a drink, are you going to hell? No. If you are lying, cheating, and treating others like shit.
But going to church once a week, that doesn't make you better.
Yeah, you're going to go see the devil horns to me. Like, so, I'm like, people, come on now. Like, that's my thing. And so, but I have learned, like, I love, like, the books, but I also think there is that. And then there's also, come on, real day life, stop looking for the numbers, the this, the that. And you have to just, I don't know how to say it. Like,
it's like a ebb and flow.
Yeah. Like, yes. Am I the one? Trust me. Yes. Have I gone on my knees and said, universe, Jesus, lead me. I am pushing this to you because I need your help.
Totally.
Have I done that? More than you even know. But I also am not going to sit there and be like, I didn't see 11:11 today, so my
I'm
is off.
The
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's
you can get caught up in it and like spun out into this la land where what I love that you said, like, this is reality. It's about like taking those lessons and bringing it into this real life.
Yeah.
You still have to take action.
Yes.
We've been busting our butts. It's not just about being in alignment and wishing into the universe. You had to go create the scarves. You had to go promote yourself. You had to go find someone to create your website and put it out there. Nothing is going to just fall into your lap. But there is that universal source, God, creator, whatever you want to say, that can play a part and help alleviate some of the stress if you believe it, if you let go, surrender, all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, and it's hard because, trust me, I'm the first to, like, always talk, but then when it comes to myself, I'm like, everything happens for a reason. I have no idea what that freaking reason was, but, and it's hard sometimes. It's like, no, that didn't need to happen. That did not need to happen. And so it's hard sometimes because I'm like, I really try to stay in that mindset. And yes, do I think even meditating and every night or when I'm in the shower, I literally go over what I'm thankful for. I don't ask for anything. I literally, even on like this past week where days have been, I can honestly say hell, that I'm still just like, I'm breathing. I didn't have a stroke today because I'm so scared of having that stupid stroke. But
yeah, don't like, create that.
Just saying what I'm thankful for.
I'm about to pray for the choir.
And even though it's hard some days because you're just like, today was a bad day. But you know what? I think so many of us, I've learned lately, try to hide it. And I am one that I always say, like, don't make it a day, make it 5 minutes. But know what? Sometimes you need that day. Yeah. And I usually don't say that. But this past week has taught me that sometimes you just need a week. Not playing the woe is me to other people, but, even last night I had to get my taxes done. And I had the funnest time just like playing with my Dixon and paying and seeing my friends I haven't for a while. Yeah. And, it's like, don't stay home. I know that sounds weird, but I think that just hit me is that when I get into these ruts, I kind of turn into
a hermit.
And I think that's what, get out. Don't stay home. Go, even if you're going to be like kind of not a downer, because you don't ever want to be that when you go out with your friends. Like, stay home. Don't do that to your friends. But even if you're not the life of the party or the energy, if you're having don't become like an introvert. Push yourself to be a little bit, because like that just hit me. I'm like, this past week, but when I started getting out,
it helped.
Yeah. And so even if it's for a minute, just talking and doing a quick lunch with a friend or this or that,
I agree.
you
What
know?
I love to dance. I just started going to ecstatic dance this last
Mm,
year, which is like it's at the Krishna temple, and
you've told me about that.
they just play like awesome music with the DJ, and there's no talking allowed, and there's no cell phones, and you
I
just
love that.
boogie. You just let it out on the floor, and
Yeah.
I love doing that. That's something I love doing. So it's true. Like find something, and the people are so important. People that are in your circle that know you can be like snap you out of it.
Yeah.
But if you stay at home by yourself, you're probably going to be in it a little bit longer. But sometimes
Yeah.
you do need that
Yeah.
time. It just kind of depends. But I love that advice. I love
Which,
that.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm always one, yeah, most of the time take 5 minutes, not a day.
Yeah.
But sometimes it might be a little longer. And you can, and even thinking about this past weeks, I can say it was one of the worst weeks I have had in years. When I say like it was, I got home from this trip and I literally landed, picked up my car, went and grabbed my daughter, and it was punch in the face, punch in the face, punch in the face, gut punch,
Wow.
it was, so here I should be jet lagged and like trying to get that. No, I didn't stop. I haven't stopped for a week. And it has, and so I think this week has taught me that, usually take 5 minutes because don't waste your time. Like cry it out, vent it out, talk to your friends. But I think when you're really in a rut, even talking on the phone doesn't do it. You have to go get that interaction
Yeah.
almost, you know?
Yeah. Like switching up your energy, like
Yeah.
switching things up in a different environment that's going to like bring you up to like a higher.
And I was meditating. I was still doing all my normal stuff. And it just, I was having a hard time meditating because it almost would make me angry. Because I'm like, this isn't working. Usually, like I'm like, done. Like, and so meditation doesn't mean you need to play your songs, close your eyes. Meditation can be getting that one-on-one time with a friend, doing your taxes. Seriously, that honestly last night kind of got me out of the, like,
But you were probably stressed about doing them.
I was
and so,
totally stressed,
Yeah.
and so it's just find what makes it work.
Yeah.
But it's not always going to be that Holy Spirit of meditation and number of frequencies and crystal baths. It's going to be maybe going out and doing something other than taking that peaceful moment. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of everything. Yeah.
But that's what I love about you is like you're so like you live in the paradox of life, like we all do, but you acknowledge it and you step into that. Like you're not afraid to get on your motorcycle and then the next day you're at a gala with the most dressed up sequin dresses and girl, if you haven't checked out her style, I mean, you got to go see. Where does your style come from? Where does your outfits, your accessories, your love for the fashion, like?
It's so crazy because I feel like talking to you right now, I've gotten as cheesy as this is, like right when you said that, I honestly remember being a little girl and going into my mom's closet, a huge walk-in closet, and I remember taking my hands on her clothes and looking down and seeing like, like Can't Buy Me Love. Remember like those like her suede outfit? That might be an older show
Did
for
you
you.
see
And like,
couture
like
outfits?
just to me as a 5-year-old even, I remember, and I would put on her knee-high boots, which were thigh highs on me. And I would put on my swimsuit and I would pull my hair up in like a ponytail. This is like 5, so imagine what I looked like, And I remember standing in the mirror and just being like, yeah, queen. Like think of a little 5-year-old, 3-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That's when I say like I was born with, and I didn't care. I would walk out and play games with everyone with my lipstick smeared on my face, my thigh-high boots, my swimsuit, and like my hair in a not even pulled up pony, but I thought I was the shit. And I don't know, I loved fashion at a young age, and I think I just have always, again, not cared. If I saw something, I would wear it. I feel like I've always been really girly. Especially after I had my daughter, I always just wanted to wear dresses. It was
Mhm.
easy to me. I didn't have to think of a shirt, pants, whatever. And it wasn't until riding motorcycles, I have felt, I'll say the past like 2 years, my style has been extremely simple. And it hasn't been till recently that I've missed my eclectic self.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
riding motorcycles, literally, I live in high-waisted jeans and a crop top, a helmet, and my hat. That's with my belts.
It's the go-to. You got the
Yeah,
belts. I love
I
the
love my
belts
belts.
always. I'm like, shoot, I need to try one.
Yeah, I love belts. So that's kind of been, but as of late, I've really missed being that dressed up, eclectic, this or that, but I ride so much.
Hmm.
And I do want to be safe because rocks fly up even in jeans and it hurts. So I've worn skirts and I'll tuck them up and do all that. But one little twist on the bike, you can fall off, and road rash is, I haven't had it yet, knock on freaking wood,
Yeah.
but it's just as bad as seriously breaking a bone. It is a
Mm.
not fun recovery. So I don't know. That's something actually this summer, spring, I'm going to work on is like, how can I be my little girly self a little bit more than
Hmm.
wearing jeans? I never wore jeans before a motorcycle. I owned zero jeans. Zero. I hated them. Hated them. And now I live in them. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of just finding that. And I've found ways on motorcycles.
Hmm.
Like I'll wear my short shorts with fishnets and, my thigh high socks, my leather pants. And so I still make it a little edgier than most,
Yeah.
but I do miss my dresses and I'll tell you, I was looking at my wardrobe and I'm like, I'm going to be a really big outfit repeater because I haven't been buying stuff because I just wear this. Literally in the summer, I wear the same thing almost every day, just a
Yeah.
different color.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
I don't know. I think, again, being young, I just had a thing for being different.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I
And
love it.
people,
I
yeah.
think what you said about like looking in the mirror and being like, "Oh yeah, girl, like you got this." I think that I don't necessarily do that now, but like I sometimes recently have lost that little touch of like when I'm doing my makeup or when I'm in the mirror being like, yeah, like having that conversation with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So like bringing that up, like any woman that's not feeling very confident, like dress up in your sexy lingerie, your cutest
Yes.
outfit, do your makeup, your hair for no damn reason, just because you're gonna have a date with yourself, whether it's in front of the mirror, you take yourself to coffee, you do something special for yourself, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of times, especially in the last year, that I've felt like frumpy or like my hair's like I need a haircut, I need
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling like that like badass queen energy that you talk
Mm-hmm.
about, and those little things help.
Oh, I will honestly, this sounds like on days, I talk to myself all the time. I do. I mean, people literally, I'll be in my car and I run things through. I talk it out. Like, if I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I think I'm crazy, whatever, but it helps. Oh, you better believe there was a video that came out years ago of a little girl looking in a mirror. And she's literally like, I love my hair. I love my eyes. I love my elbows. I love my knee. I love my friends. And she jumps down. She's like, I love my family. I love my shoes. I love everything about me. Do that.
Do that, boo.
You know what I mean? Look in the mirror and you talk yourself up. Don't depend this second. I don't get ready for other people. I get ready for me.
I've said that for years.
Yeah,
I
like,
love that. Yeah.
I can give two shits what that guy or what that girl thinks about me, because when I walk out this door with no makeup on or glammed out, I'm doing it for me. So if I'm looking in the mirror and I'm not feeling it, it's up to me to change that. And I'm not going to put that on you. Like, I'm not going to, yeah, sometimes if I feel fat, I'll be like, oh, I'm just feeling ugly. Guess what? I'll say it once, let it go. Don't do that to your friends either. Like, come on.
When they're like, oh, I feel so whatever. It's
Which
like,
we all do.
yeah.
And we all have our insecurities. But all I can say is no one can change that but you. No one. And if someone can, that's not good. If you rely on your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends to make you feel good, that's not okay. And you've got to figure that out, like, now.
The only person that you go to bed with every day for the rest of your life is going to be yourself.
Yeah.
Everything's going to change. People in your life are going to come and go. At the end of the day, it's you versus you. So if you're, like the environment that I grew up in led me to believe that I had to earn love. Like I spent so much of my life seeking other people's validation because I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know that I don't have to prove something. I don't have to ask permission to be me. What the beep? So I'm literally the opposite of you in so many ways in that aspect. And so like I love that you said that because it's you versus you. It doesn't matter how, if you have the freaking Queen of England calling you or friggin' like Channing Tatum calling you to validate you, like that shouldn't make a difference. You should already know that inside your heart you're enough just how you are and live in that because at the end of the day it is you.
But what I love is what you just said. I've been sitting here saying I was born with this confidence, with this knowledge. You weren't. But look at you now. Okay? So that's what I love is that I can own most people are not like me that have grown with this confidence, but everybody can have it. It's not easy. You have come a huge long ways and you work at it daily. Like every time I talk to you, you're working on it. And I'm working on stuff daily. So that's where I get frustrated when people are like, well, I'm not like you. No, you're not. You're better in other ways. That's what makes all of us freaking special is that if we were all the same, God, that'd suck.
It'd be so boring.
Like we would all be just like, so that's where, no one is like me.
Yeah.
And I know that. But you need to know that no one's like you. There's who is that? Was it like Marilyn Monroe or Chanel or Audrey Hepburn that said that quote that's like I don't even know it. But
I'm not beautiful like you. I'm beautiful like me or something like that.
It's a really cool quote, but it's real. It's so true. It's not just a cheesy quote. Like once you learn that, that's like a whole new power. Because I think so, and I think that's another thing. A lot of people will speak stuff, but they don't believe it. They don't really. And I think that's one thing I think both of us can see is we can be talking to someone and they can be spitting a game, and you and I will both be sitting there going, bullshit. Like, that's, yeah.
You can, it's like in people's voices and how they show up, like, people can say words, but it's what's behind it.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember when I started doing affirmations and I looked in the mirror, I'm like, you're amazing. And in the back of my head, I was like,
no, you're
no,
not.
you're not. You suck. You this, you that. But, like, I know that the intention is everything. I wanted to feel that. I wanted to be that. I wasn't staying small saying, I'm not like you, so there's no way, and I can't. Like, the word can't is a swear word to me. Hate that. Don't tell me you can't do anything. Anybody can do everything. It might take way more work for you to step into that. It might take years for you to even see any sort of difference. But if you do that every single day with the intention that I want to feel this way, even though I don't feel worthy of it now. I want to feel that.
Yeah,
you will. And
it's even like when you said, I used to look in the mirror and be like, I am worthy, and then it's thinking, no, not like I do those constant. I do them all the time. When I say all the time, this past week, I can't even tell you that. Like I had to talk all day, every day to myself, and it was cool. It's like, I'm going to make it through. I'm going to make it through. I'm making it through. I am making it through. I'm doing this. And as you repeat these, I started out low. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I am freaking okay. And it's really like how it goes. You start and it's like you're this broken, but if you keep on doing it, it might take, most days I can look in the mirror and be like, today's going to be a good day. Even if I broke up, like I'm like, not feeling it. And I can say it a couple times. I'm like, today's going to be killer.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a lot more. And you can't ever stop. It's like meditation. I feel once I stop or kind of focus or don't play my tapes that I like to listen to is when I kind of lose that track.
Yeah. They say self-love is an everyday practice. You don't just find it and then you're like, I'm saved forever. No.
But no, have you, this is totally off probably, but the whole self-love movement, I I've kind of really been thinking about that because I think a lot of people take it as self-love as I'm getting massages, I'm getting facials, I'm doing this type of self-love, which that's I get massages and I get facials, but I think so many people have taken it where, and again, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like, no, real self-love,
Yeah.
like being thankful,
Gratitude.
gratitude, doing your meditations, maybe go to church, go spend 2 hours of listening of good things,
Totally.
whatever,
Podcasts.
yeah.
Audibles. I love Audible.
And so things even more like that than the superficial things of self-love.
Do you want to hear this? You're going to freaking love this.
I want to hear
I heard this quote last week. Self-love isn't just all that. Self-love means that you recognize when you have messed up or, done something against your values and taking accountability and like changing your actions. That's part of self-love.
Yeah.
Because people think like self-love can almost become a crutch. It's like it can you not love yourself too much. I don't think that there's such thing, but doing all these things and constantly needing to go get a facial, go get the validation. It's like, no, inner work, self-love is part of inner work.
And helping others, like doing non-selfish things, which the reason why I talk about this is I am 100% guilty of I'm in the self-love movement, time to go take care of me.
Totally.
But it's also a little selfish in a way. So I don't know. That's like one of the things, like self-love is a lot more than the superficial things.
Totally.
But again, everyone's so different, but that's just something recently that I've been like, oh, okay, yeah.
I love that.
Need a little wake-up call.
Oh, yeah. So let's kind of switch gears and talk about your business, your hats. I know that's been a process for you, and I know that there's so much you can probably share with people who have ever thought about creating their own products. Like, what has that journey been like? And I know you're still going through it, so this might be a sensitive subject. but what was the process like, and how do you consistently go over those hurdles with your company?
This process is hell. To make it sound nice. Everything is out of your hands. And in the hands of others. I've been kind of jerked around, and it's taken a lot more time than it should have because people have dropped the ball, which is hard for me because I take my business so seriously, and it's hard when other people don't. But that's part of it. It's like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to get mad? That's not going to do anything. Are you going to yell and scream? That's not going to do anything. Are you going to do this or that? No, because it's not going to do anything. But then that's where it's hard because you can't do anything. Right now, why I had my breakdown is half of my hats that came were the wrong size. We had to ship all of them back, and they are being reprocessed, which means that style probably won't be able to relaunch or be launched for at least another month and a half. And that's if everything goes good. My hats, one of the things that I love, and this is what makes them so special, is that, and what we talked about earlier, how if you buy a hat, it's the same as everyone else. If it comes with the ribbon's on there. You can't take it off. My hats will all come with 2 accessories. And their accessories, I know I get so excited, that are not just made for the hat, but you can take them off and wear them as a headband, a necklace, a choker, a bracelet. Some you can even wear as a belt. And so you can accessorize them to you. Last night I did a Facebook Live, and literally I showed them 4 styles to switch up your hat in like a minute. And that was just the beginning. So that's what makes my hat companies so much different than everyone else, is that you can change up your outfit even with my accessories. And then I'm selling a whole bunch of other hat accessories then you can buy to switch it up to make it even. So your hat will never look the same. You and I could be wearing the exact same hat and it won't look the same.
I love that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, punch number 2 was I don't know what happened, but the accessories for your hats haven't even been made. I was supposed to get home from my trip and have them here ready to be like good to go. Um, I can't sell hats without those.
Yeah.
That's my whole company.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and was like, okay, I have to find someone local. I have to figure this out, but finding someone local means costs go up.
Totally.
Another part of my company is keeping the cost low enough that everyone can feel comfortable buying it. Yes, some people are like, that's all you're charging.
Mm-hmm.
And others are like, okay, that is a good price for everything we get. It's likely have to go up a little bit. But you're getting pieces that, to be honest, I don't know if they'll stay these. So these first couple thousand hats might have these accessories only,
I love
which
that.
is pretty cool,
Yeah.
and home
Limited editions.
Yeah, like made in Utah, made by my own hands, and
Made with
helping
love.
Yeah.
Quai love, straight from her fingers. The magic fingers.
So, I mean, it's still not set in stone.
Yeah.
I had that meeting yesterday, actually. So, that's one of the things. It's like I've been dealing with all of this where I was supposed to launch in December.
I remember. I know that there's thousands on the edge of their seat, and I know all this is going to pay off.
I hope so.
And I believe
Buy
in
my
you.
hats, people. Buy my hats.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so it has been, it is hard. And when I say like, there's a reason why everyone doesn't do this. But it's like I'm exhausted emotionally, physically, like, and not on top of all this, it's like, okay, I have my daughter, her schooling, ice skating competitions, people's, my nephew's first birthday. It's, so here I talk about a business that literally takes up 60 hours, more than that, like 90 hours a week. Like I wake up an hour and a half early to try to do social media stuff. Because, like that, you have to be, and I can't pay someone to help me with that right now. Someone want to give me money, I'm willing. Just putting that out to the universe, okay? Give me the money.
It's coming to you.
It's coming. But, like I'm spending my savings. I believe in myself. And so it's like I'm on a tight budget.
Totally.
And it is hard. Me, I've been the one that's like, here, like I can afford, and I could go on any trip I wanted, whenever I wanted. I could buy whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
I can't right now.
But it will pay off because the money you're spending is for your company, for an asset. Like this is going to be long term. You're here for the long term. You're not here to just be a flash in the pan. And that's what I love about you is you take your hats, your products seriously, and that's what sets you apart. It's like not just like, oh, I want to go do this, let me go do this, the cheapest, whatever, and just throw it out there. Like you're like, guys, I'm putting my heart and soul into this, and that just shows
money into this. Most people that do, they have
investors.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I'm self-funded. I've never taken out a business loan, like everything I've done, and it's hard.
And I still have zero debt. Let me add that right now. Zero debt right now. That will probably change when I, whatever. But yeah, I haven't taken out a loan yet.
That's amazing.
Or anything like that. But it isn't easy. And so that's where it is like, I think everybody just kind of prove to investors you should put your own money into it. But yeah, it's hard. It's not easy. And so if you want to go in to be an entrepreneur, be prepared.
Yeah.
And have zero expectations for anything, especially people, because the ones you think that will help you won't. And a stranger you've never met before will buy 10 scarves. So
love that.
Like
you just never know. And that's why like putting yourself out there is so important, because there's people not only, from the empowerment standpoint of like hearing your message and getting that to the world, but like your actual customers, like people will come out of the woodworks that you never even talked to in your entire life, across the country, across the world, to buy your stuff.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I love that.
So it's hard. I'm trying not to give up. I'm still going.
Yeah,
So.
you're gonna do it. It's just part of the journey. It doesn't necessarily get easier because you always go to a new set of challenges, but it builds your character.
Do you remember when I came to you and we were sitting there and you were doing my lashes and I seriously stopped you and I sat up and I'm all, it never ends. It never F word ends. Remember?
Yeah.
And I'm all,
Yeah.
once you think you get there, nope. It is slap, and it's a whole new ball game. And you were just like, that's so true. I'm like, I thought I was there, but now I'm not. And we just started laughing. Like I was crying and then I just started laughing because I'm like, this is so hard.
It is.
I don't want to learn anymore. Can I just stay right here? I'm really, really happy where I'm at. I don't want another lesson.
Yeah.
You remember?
I literally remember.
And you yelled, you're like, she didn't mean that, universe.
Yeah, you literally said something to that extent. And then you were like cursing the universe. And I was like, she doesn't mean that.
Yeah, and you were so cute. It was so cute because you were literally like, no, universe, she doesn't mean that. I'm like, I'm done, universe. Stop it. And it's just like, it isn't. This journey, like, and I say it to you, I'm like, it never ends. And when you think about it, like right now I think about it and I think I just like kind of shrunk. Like, and I kind of folded because it is exhausting to think about. Yeah. It is like.
But your peaks like almost get higher in a sense.
No, they totally do.
You know?
They totally do. I'm all, sometimes it's just like, okay, can I just, universe, just let me coast. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to do anything to make me learn. So just let me be a medium right now. I don't need a low. I don't need a high. Just let me be. Yeah. But then you get slapped. Or you get your wave and your high as a kite. So
exactly. I love that.
But yeah, the entrepreneur, blah, 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 whatever, is not easy. But it is pretty darn cool.
It is. You literally have an idea. You take action towards it. You make something out of nothing, just an idea, and you bring it into fruition. And it's like physical. Yeah. It's freaking crazy.
It is. And I think I know everyone hears it, but you can't give up. And I think that's my own advice to me right now. You have to keep on going. And it's even like this. From this podcast, who knows? I might get a hat sale. I might get a scarf sale. I might get an investor. You never know. Mm-hmm. And it's like these little things that you connect with the people that have supported you and that you get your aha moments. You get something that happens from it. And so you just have to keep on keeping on and going and knowing that whatever happens is what is supposed to happen. Which me saying that right now, I want to punch it in the face. But it's true. Everything happens for a reason.
I love that. So, I believe in that too. Even it might even be a reason that you haven't even discovered yet.
Amen.
But it will.
Amen.
And okay, so one last question, and then anything else you want to add. My question is, what is your message to the world? Like if you were on stage in front of 1 million people right now, and you could tell them a piece of advice or your message, what would that be?
I think it's kind of what I said to you before, and it's something that I use as to myself when I'm feeling weak is, like, don't have a wishbone. Have a backbone. Don't get pushed around. Don't get walked all over. Support women. Support men. Bring everyone together. Don't be selfish, because any of that you don't do, you're selfish. And the second you're selfish, everything falls apart. And so I think it's speaking your truth. Whether you think someone wants to hear it or not, own it and speak it. Like, just be you. Have that backbone. Because I think so many people are so scared of what everyone thinks or what someone's going to say that their power, their like sparkling, shimmering unicorn self doesn't come out because they're having that wishbone of, I wish I could do a podcast like Shelly. I wish I could start a hat company like Quai, but she wore a hat one time and someone said, ew, that hat is funny. Well, screw you. I look bomb, and that's your own insecurity. Have that backbone. Trust me, I wore a hat one time and a guy was like, you look like the guy with the monkey, the yellow suit guy. What is his?
Curious George.
Curious George. And I said, and you remember Curious George. And when I walk away, you're going to remember me. And guess what?
Boom.
I ran into that guy a year later. I had no idea who he was. And he goes, Curious George. He goes, Hat girl. And I go, and what did I say? And he goes, damn right. And that we shook, his name's Brian. And we shook hands and I'm like, I'm Quai. And he's like, I'm Brian. And he's still one of my good friends today.
I love how you just make friends with everyone.
But you know what I mean? Like when someone tells you or makes fun of you, that's truly, I'm not saying this to make you feel better. That is their own insecurity coming out. Trust me, let me tell you one. When I remember when I was in my 20s and I would see girls like with their love handles hanging over. And I'd be like, why would they do that? That was my own insecurity. Now I look at them, I'm like, you go, girl. I wish I could have that power, that strength of like insecurity of like wearing whatever I wanted, you know? Mm-hmm. But it's like just because someone tells you you look funny with a hat on, they don't have the confidence to freaking wear it. Mm-hmm. You're making a statement. And that's one thing I will say. When you put on one of my hats, all my friends will say it. You feel powerful. Whether you want it, like me today, to finish off an outfit, to be like, hey podcast, or like yesterday when I had no makeup on, I'd been crying, my eyes are swollen. I wore my hat because I wanted to hide. I just wanted to be able to walk and not run into anyone and just have it be my shield that day. Mm-hmm. And so that's all I'm going to say, because I know a lot of people have that wishbone. Have your backbone. And when you start hunching and feeling weak, forget your wishbone. Get that out, straighten up, and feel sturdy. Yeah. Because that's the only way you're going to keep on going.
I love that. That's so authentic kind of to you. That is so you.
Yay,
Queen Quai coming at you live. Oh, wait, one last question I have that I know. I know that you've told me, but I really want you to share with the listeners what's behind your hat. Your hat isn't just a hat, and it's not just because it's something more. What does it resemble?
All my hats will be named after someone in my life that has touched me, that has helped me through a certain situation. And this isn't just family. Like, and a lot of people actually have been pissed off when I'm like, no, I'm not going to name a hat after this person. Or, you know, like it is going to be randoms. Yeah. And I think it's people that have come into my life in pivotal moments. And it won't be like, say I do a Shelly hat. It will be more of like, the type of person you are. So when you read about the hat, because the hats are all unisex, so I don't want it to be this is a girl hat or a guy hat. It will just tell about that person. Wow. You know, like if it was the Shelly hat, it would be a very kind, always helping other people, making sure people feel their best, putting others before themselves, you know, but also taking time. Remember when you put on this hat to take a moment for you. Mm-hmm. Type of a feel. So it's kind of, you know, I just don't want people to get on and think they're buying another hat. I want people to connect. I'm kind of over, like, yeah, of course, I do want this company to be my livelihood. I do need to make money to keep it going. But I think the price point when I do release that and everything you get with this and just the vibe and the feeling of why I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully people can connect and will want to purchase one of mine over someone else's.
I love that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, your hats are going to like take over it, like become a life of its own. Like I can feel it. They're just like so, yeah, it's a lifestyle, the brand, the lifestyle of everything you stand for.
And we have so much more coming out that go with the hats. So you not just the accessories, like get ready because it is touching on that spirituality, touching on keeping your energy good. Because I'm a huge believer in that. And trust me, if I'm putting something on your head, putting something on your number one chakra, okay, it better have a good vibe.
Love that.
And so even like on days you might feel negative and that energy might be going to your hat, I'm doing some stuff that will refuel, reprocess your hat, and keep it good. So when you hang it up, it will refuel your hat.
I love
So
that.
we have
I'm
to-
so excited.
I know,
And I know. Because, well, I mean, that just reminds me of when you mentioned the hat. Like, your hat is your crown.
Yeah.
Like, you are all queens and kings.
Mm-hmm.
And the hat will resemble your crown and just all of the worthiness and love and abundance and badassery that you are.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of a Quai hat.
Good, and that's what I want everyone to think of. So perfect. If I got you down, I can get all the rest, right?
Yep.
So
Awesome.
yay.
Well, is there anything else you want to share with the listeners?
I don't think so. Just that you're amazing, and she's making waves. So I feel privileged. Same like
I'm honored.
I'm gonna be like, I know her. You know.
Queens lift up other queens.
Amen. Sis.
And everybody else around them.
Amen. Perfectly said.
Okay, go team. I love you.